The Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome to the show. Well, the SEC has been put on notice officially. The University of Missouri has a football team, and a good one. They absolutely took Tennessee to the woodshed yesterday, 36-7. It was a dominating performance, a terrific performance by Cody Schrader, a defense that held. You got to understand how big this is. Tennessee came in. It's not a they're not an elite program necessarily. It's a good SEC team, good, solid SEC team. Missouri had a history with Tennessee in which it had been outscored by 80 points over the last two games. 80, 128-48. Just to put that in perspective, Tennessee, who has Josh Heupel, the former offensive coordinator at Missouri, and some familiar faces over there on that sideline, and a lot of pride and a big backing and certainly a history of an axe to grind. Eli Drinkwitz made some comments about the prior regime and some of the infractions that they had undertaken and had to deal with. And Tennessee didn't like that too much, and they took it out on Mizzou for 4 years, beat them 4 in a row, and especially the last two, running up the score a little bit too. And that, to me, in college football is bulletin board, receipts kept, and you don't forget stuff like that. All of that was riding in Missouri's favor yesterday in terms of edge, but there was also a lot of pressure on Missouri yesterday. If you lose the game to Tennessee, you're just back to being, Missouri's good, but, Missouri played LSU tough, but lost. Missouri went to Georgia, put up a fight again against the Bulldogs, but lost. Missouri beat K-State, but required a 61-yard field goal to do so. Missouri beat Kentucky on the road, but it's not the same Kentucky team that it used to be, and they got smoked by Alabama, blah, blah, blah. Mizzou hasn't beaten a good team. Well, they beat a good team yesterday in Tennessee, and Missouri was the much better team. And Missouri absolutely put it on Tennessee yesterday, 36-7. Cody Schrader is a wonderful story. His offensive line made enormous holes and protected Brady Cook for the most part, although Cook faced a very good defense. This Tennessee defense allows under 100 yards rushing per game. It's one of the best rushing defenses in the country. And all Schrader did was shred it. And I mean shred it. He is, I think, going back to early in the season, in particular for me, at least in person, seeing him against Memphis at the Dome opened my eyes to what a runner he is. Straight line, hard to bring down. He can be shifty, but he's mostly straight line, just try to bring me down. It's going to hurt when you bring me down. He's 5'9", if that. But yesterday, he puts up a monster game, and it's a wonderful story of perseverance. A kid that grew up here in St. Louis, Lutheran South, really good high school running back, didn't get a sniff, went to Truman State, played Division II football, came to Missouri, not as a transfer to join this starting backfield, no, to be a walk-on, and basically was an afterthought. In fact, just in the last few weeks, Luther Burden's the Heisman candidate being promoted by Missouri. Cody Schrader, all he has done is get better and better and better. And yesterday, he puts on a show for the ages. I was there yesterday. It was great to be at Faurot Field. I told my daughter, who will be 13 next month, someday when you meet Cody Schrader, you can tell him you were at the Tennessee game. The great thing about college football is it goes in story in chapters of the story. So you get these 4-year chapters, these eras of quarterback, of coach, whatever it may be. In this case, you'll remember the Cody Schrader game and the team that Brady Cook led and the team that Luther Burden was on and the team that kind of got Eli Drinkwitz into the good graces of the SEC as a legitimate coach. Not just Missouri. We know now that he can coach the University of Missouri and coach them well and recruit well, but he is now considered to be a voice in the SEC. He can't be it's legitimate. He goes in and just absolutely trashes Tennessee yesterday. The numbers on Schrader: 205 yards rushing, the leading rusher yesterday on 35 carries with a touchdown, and also the leading rusher in the SEC. But 5 catches for 116 yards. He was also the receiving leader for Missouri. He's also the first Missouri player to have 90 rushing yards and 90 receiving yards in the same game, and he did it in the first half. He's also the first SEC player ever to have 200 rushing yards and 100 receiving yards in the same game. It was an incredible game, and the defense shutting out Tennessee in the second half is remarkable. This is a Tennessee team that averaged 34 points a game, that had one of the best rushing attacks in the league, not to mention the country. And Tennessee gets absolutely shut down, taken to the woodshed by the University of Missouri. That was some performance yesterday. Tom Hart is going to join us in just a few minutes. He's from the SEC Network and ESPN, and he'll have a complete breakdown of not only that, but what's going on in college football. Jimbo Fisher is going to get fired today. It's a $75 million buyout. That is just unbelievable and incredible. He is out of a job. Texas A&M is, for whatever reason, a middling program for a program that has unlimited resources, an incredible fan base, a recruiting ground that is unlike anybody else's, and they can't win. So we'll take a look at that and the rest of the college football picture. Congratulations to Illinois beating my alma mater, Indiana, 48-45 in overtime. Really nice performance by the Illinois offense. They throw for 500 yards. They do this without Luke Altmaier. He was ruled out of the game before it started with an injury. And they just throw all over Indiana, 500 yards through the air, 662 yards total. They withstand Indiana taking an early 27-12 lead, and John Paddock, a 21-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Williams in overtime, wins at 48-45 in a Big Ten game over Indiana that Illinois needed. They got to keep getting them. Paddock threw for 507 yards and 4 touchdowns. First start for the Illini since transferring from Ball State. Luke Altmaier out with a concussion. Only Shadur Sanders of Colorado, who had that famous 510-yard game against TCU in the beginning of the season, has thrown for more yards in a game this season than John Paddock of Illinois against Indiana, 48-45. We'll go through the day of college football with Tom Hart in just a minute. Then we will talk to Travis Ford and Rebecca Tillett, the head coaches of basketball, men's and women's, at St. Louis University. We'll talk to Mark Schreiber, the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. We have John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations of the St. Louis Cardinals, on the show today. He's at 11:30. We'll touch on St. Louis City SC's season and a Blues blowout last night. They beat the Avalanche 8-2. We'll hear from Coach Craig Berube on that very topic. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX, our NFL picks as well. There's an NFL game going right now. We'll update you throughout the morning. Tom Hart right after this.
Gone South, winner of the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award, is back. Laredo, Texas, a border town community where in the fall of 2018, 4 women were found dead. In Season 3 of Gone South, The Sign Cutter, join award-winning producer and journalist Jed Lipinski as he unravels the story behind the manhunt for a serial killer that led to a shocking standoff.
All episodes of Gone South, The Sign Cutter are available now exclusively on the free Odyssey app or listen weekly wherever you get your podcasts.
Nobody wants a surprise in their jelly donut.
It's toothpaste?
That's because the middle is the most important part. At Graybar, we're at the middle of electrical and datacom jobs across the country, connecting installers, facility managers, and business owners with smart solutions for their most challenging projects, which means stocking and delivering crucial products on time and on budget with no surprises, thanks to our nationwide logistics network. Yep, Graybar does that.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey. You are not alone if when you hear those ads or see those signs saying we will buy your home for cash, that you're just a few short minutes away from a real lowball offer, right? Well, I was talking to Gloria about that, Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and here's what she told me. It's crucial that you know the truth about these cash offer companies because you spend years earning equity in your home and then you decide to sell. A cash investment company buys your home for 15% below market value, puts a little TLC into it, then sells it for 10% above its original true market value. But here's what I can tell you. Gloria Liu is different. She has multiple cash buyers who bid against each other, giving you the highest cash offers to choose from with zero hassles, no showings, and close quickly. So learn more about getting multiple cash offers today. Call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. More than 11 years ago, we set out to help women right here in St. Louis. Today, Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Our work at Coalition Life continues, and we need your support more than ever in a post-Roe versus Wade world. Whether you join us as a volunteer, an employee, or a donor, know that you have a special impact to make for these precious children. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It's 10:18. We appreciate being with us today. Back on KMOX from the SEC Network and ESPN. The terrific television play-by-play man Tom Hart is with us. You had LSU Florida last night, did you not?
I did, and I had what I think was the Heisman moment, and it was about 3.5 hours worth of Heisman moments for Jaden Daniels last night. He was fantastic.
Unbelievable. I mean, really, 234 yards rushing, 372 yards passing. I was not a math major at Indiana University, but that is 606 yards, Tom.
I don't think Antoine Randall ever had a game like that. In fact, I know he didn't as good as he was, speaking of IU, because Daniels was the first player in FBS history to throw for 350 and run for 200. I'm a Heisman voter, and I always think that the spectacular is what catches our attention more than the mundane. And if you can have big moments against big-time programs, and Florida had a top 50 defense going in, that's going to get a lot of Heisman voters' attention. Marvin Harrison also had a big game last night against Michigan State that he has, in my mind, the biggest opportunity left with Ohio State, Michigan, which is just going to be a blockbuster of a game this year for a lot of different reasons.
Yes, it is. The top 8 teams in the college football playoff all won. Jaden Daniels, once upon a time, had a terrific game at Faurot Field against Eli Drinkwitz and the Missouri Tigers, who yesterday put it on Tennessee. And after the game, Drinkwitz said, well, why not Cody Schrader for a little Heisman talk? He said, he's the leading rusher in the SEC. I don't remember the last time a leading rusher in the SEC wasn't. But gosh, Luther Burden was their Heisman candidate. They put it out themselves. Now Schrader with a tremendous performance yesterday. What did you gather from the Mizzou win over Tennessee?
Well, I'll go a little throwback for the Mizzou fans. There was a little Brock Olivo and Cody Schrader's game. I think that we need to start appreciating Cody Schrader for the athlete that he is and get off of this storyline of, oh, he's just a hard worker. I mean, that's a great message to send along to kids. If you really believe in yourself and you bust your butt at practice, then great things can happen. But he is obviously an elite athlete. You just don't do what he did against an SEC opponent. First in conference history, 200 rush yards and 100 receiving yards in a game. Eli Drinkwitz is a great offensive mind, and I know he's not calling the plays like he did in years past. But the game plan, knowing that Burden was going to be limited, and they had to, and Brady Cook was a little banged up apparently, but they had to have someone they could lean on, and Schrader moves into this featured role as opposed to a complementary piece that was still putting up big numbers, second in the league in rushing going into the weekend. I was beyond impressed. And this is a monster win for Missouri for a program standpoint. I mean, where they've elevated themselves into that second tier behind Georgia and Alabama, getting past Tennessee is a big jump. But the Kentucky win on the road in the rain that we had last month, that was a big win too. And you could say that they should have beaten LSU. I think Missouri is probably the better team on the field that day. It's just that Jaden Daniels was the best all-around player in college football, and he was able to mount a major comeback that day.
I think that's well said. And where does Missouri go from here? I mean, this is about respect. So they get the win over Tennessee. Now you get Florida at home. You go to Arkansas, 2 winnable games. You're 10-2. What's the ceiling for them? New Year's Six?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. In the Year's Six bowl, and you look at it in the big picture in the SEC. I mean, there's opportunities abound for great bowl games in this conference, but they've climbed ahead of a lot of other teams. And you look at how Ole Miss was dispatched by Georgia. And by the way, living in Atlanta and talking with Georgia people over the last week, I think Missouri impressed a ton of people with their performance against Georgia. Georgia is by far the best team in college football under Kirby Smart. They have been, at least for the last 2 years, and played for a national championship before that. And nobody has played Georgia as tough as Missouri has over the last couple of years. So what does the New Year's Six Bowl mean to a program like Missouri? It means huge momentum, not just in your local support and ticket sales and recruiting. But let's be honest, Tom, in this day and age of name, image, and likeness, where you're in constant fundraising frame of mind, and that fundraising directly impacts what you do on signing day and the kids that you can get to your program, which only then begets more winning. There is more on the line to reach a major bowl and finish with momentum than has ever been before.
I'm with you on that. I really think that the future is bright for Eli Drinkwitz in this program in the area of recruiting. They continue to work. I do think the Schrader story is a good one for young people in this area, as well as Brady Cooks and Luther Burdens, all on different levels, all different types of stories, to bring excellent players to Missouri from the city of St. Louis. But not just that, they need to start looking nationally. If they really want to be a power in the SEC, Tom, don't they have to continue to expand their search nationally and bring some of the best players into this state, just as a number of programs have rated our state?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I think the Metro success carries more weight in the moment. The fact that they're putting, listen, Cody Schrader 4 years ago wasn't an SEC talent because he was playing at Truman State, right? But to get him in a position to succeed and to allow him to develop and be at this point in his career, I think says a lot about the talent in the St. Louis Metro. We know what it's like in the entire state. Kansas City's got a number 1 recruit next year. That Missouri's got their claws in already. I agree with you, bigger picture. I mean, think about the inroads that Gary Pinkel's great teams made when they played for 2 conference championships, and before that in 2007 when they reached number 1 in the country. Where did they get their talent? They went into Texas. That was the big pipeline. And now with the University of Texas coming in, with Oklahoma coming in next year, I think that pipeline gets a little bit larger, and you have more of an opportunity to go into that state, which is just produces more talent than almost any other when it comes to high school football, where it truly matters down there year round. That to me, if I were heading up, I'd say, okay, boys, let's look down to the Lone Star State, because we got an opportunity to go more national, and that's a recruiting hotbed that I think you can get into.
I agree with you. I looked at that yesterday. I was at the game, but I'm looking at them. They're on CBS. They put a pasting on Tennessee. It can flip very quickly. A young man somewhere in America could say, well, they've been talking to me. Maybe I should look a little bit more at this staff. Look what they did to these players. I was watching the post-game interview that Jenny Dell did with Brady Cook, and it was genuine from Cook. I mean, he was looking over and he said, you shouldn't be talking to me. You should be talking to this offensive line, Cody Schrader, the defense. I mean, it was a true team effort. Eli's got them all buying in right now. Schrader reminds me, his running style, he's not this player, okay, but he reminds me, his running style is like Emmitt Smith, where he runs straight ahead, reads the offensive line extremely well, finds a spot, and then he's impossible to tackle. I just think that is a very special scheme they've put together and very attractive moving forward. I want to shift, though, because you just brought up Texas. What is going on at Texas A&M? Now, Jimbo Fisher is out. That's been reported, and it's going to be a $75 million buyout. I guess my question to you is, why isn't Texas A&M great? I mean, they have everything. They have the recruiting ground. They have the resources. They have an amazing fan base. Why are they such a mid to upper level SEC team and not a great one?
I don't even think you could describe them as an upper level SEC team based on field results.
Yeah.
Even going back to Kevin Sumlin era. To be direct with that answer right now, both what has put them in that conversation of being a potential power and what has also limited them, quite simply, was Jimbo Fisher. It was his archaic offense. It was the way he coaches his quarterbacks. It was this toxicity that I witnessed every time I was around that program under Jimbo. It's not healthy. It wasn't healthy from day one. They have all the resources, and now if it sounds weird to say, they're going to pay out 70 to Jimbo. It's going to cost them over 100 for this total turnaround to buy out this staff, to bring in a new staff. Yet they're still sitting on a pile of oil money, and they're a sleeping giant. If they get the right coach in there, because they have this unwavering support from the largest alumni base in the entire country, they have an opportunity to do real damage. But you have to have the right leader in there, and that wasn't Jimbo from day one. So I think that it was never. I don't want to say it wasn't the right fit. They went after a national championship coach, and at the time there were only 5 current national championship coaches in the country, and they swung for the fences, and they just signed the wrong guy. You know what it's comparable to? It's comparable to the Angels and Pujols, but at least the Angels got a few good years from them at the very beginning, right? I mean, they got the guy who demanded a lot of money but was past his prime and was running an offense that belonged in the early to mid-'90s and not the 2010s.
Hey, Tom, last thing on the SEC, and we've talked about just about everybody here. And Georgia, I am 100% in agreement with you. I think Georgia is the number 1 team in the country, not Ohio State, not Michigan, not Florida State. It'll all be settled, and I do think that Alabama will have something to say about this in the end. They are going to get a chance to make their statement. They look great. They look like the team that everybody hoped in Crimson that they would be. What is your projection here for Alabama with an easy one next week and at Auburn?
Well, I think you have to start with the quarterback play. Jalen Milroe threw for 3 touchdowns yesterday. He ran for 3. No quarterback had ever done that in Alabama history. And if they would have, I want to give credit to the coaching staff for getting him to this point, but they were a disaster in September. If they would have had this in September, he's a Heisman candidate, if not the front runner, and they're probably undefeated. You know, they beat Texas with the great Jalen Milroe, so they had some growing pains early on. They can beat anybody. They have an elite defense. They have great wide receivers, and they've got a quarterback that is doing a lot of damage. Georgia's schedule on the front end was a joke. Let's be honest about it. But now they are going through the toughest part of it, and it's really hard to come out of there totally unscathed. And, of course, when you talk about the schedule, that's going to include Alabama now in the SEC championship game, and I think that's going to be another heavyweight title fight, an absolute thriller between those two. Listen, Ole Miss is a really good program, both offensively and for the first time in a long time defensively. And Georgia just kicked them to the side like they're in an FCS team yesterday. It was a total takedown and annihilation. And I think that speaks to not only how good Georgia is, how talented they are, but how Kirby Smart's teams never seem to have a down week. He is a master motivator, and he gets those guys ready to play each and every year, each and every game, even if it's to convince them that nobody ever thought they had a chance. And everybody knows everybody knows they're the best team in the country. Yeah. Nobody's doubting them, but inside those walls, he finds motivation in the weirdest places.
Sure does. It does make Missouri look even better after they smoke Ole Miss. There's no question. Tom, I thought about you on my drive home from Columbia, and I appreciate you answering our call and taking our request to come on today. Terrific job you always do on SEC games, and thanks for putting it all in perspective for us. We appreciate it.
Happy to join you. I'm jealous you got a chance to go to Faurot Field yesterday. The crowd was amazing, and the fan base deserves a lot of credit for getting Drink's program to where it is from a support standpoint, because that wasn't there. That wasn't there just a few years ago, even under Barry Odom, and it takes an entire state really to support a program like that.
You are right about that. Thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate it.
You bet, Tom.
Good to talk and catch up with Tom Hart once again. It's 10:31. Travis Ford joins us next.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text code to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text code to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text code to 26022.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL today, the vote is in, and there's no need for a recount. I'm Jim Onder, and I want to thank you, the people of St. Louis, for acknowledging my team at Onder Law as STL Today's 2023's best law firm in St. Louis. As always, we will continue our mission to hold companies accountable, change the way they do business, and make St. Louis a safer place.
When you're injured, you need the best. Call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
Royal Banks of Missouri is your community bank, with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks brings in experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender. Looking for a new home or to refinance your current mortgage? Royal Banks of Missouri wants to be your home buying partner. With a local staff that will guide you through the process, Royal Banks is an experienced mortgage lender that you can trust. There's still time to lock in on a low rate. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Great to be back with you. Good to catch up with Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network in our last segment. Joining us now, it is time once again this season to talk to Billikens coach Travis Ford. It is sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri, and the Billikens are 3-0 on the season. A win last night over Illinois State, 80-71. Hello, Coach. Great to have you on the show. We'll try to catch up with Coach. He is apparently not on the line, so we will reconnect with him. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened in the game yesterday. The Billikens won the game 80-71. They led by a dozen at the half. Illinois State hung with them, partly because of their ability to rebound the basketball. They do have some big players in there, and they were able to kind of hang in and show some of their size yesterday, but Illinois State just could not find a way to overtake this SLU team, which has some very, very talented perimeter players. The Illinois State has a 7-1 transfer. He had 12 rebounds yesterday. His name is Brandon Lieb, but the Redbirds were struggling with SLU's ability to shoot the basketball. They knocked down a couple of threes from Hughes, a couple of threes from Parker. Jimerson hit one, Hargrove hit one. And although they shot just 29% from three, they were big threes at big moments. SLU also got 19 points out of Sincere Parker. He looks like a scoring machine. Gibson Jimerson hit 15 free throws. 15 free throws made for 20 points, and the Billikens won the game 80-71. Let's see if we can connect with Coach Ford. Are you there, Coach? How are you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, Tom.
Hey, morning. Yeah, this was another win for you. You get 80 on the board this time, beating Illinois State 80-71. I just gave my thoughts a little bit on the game. Let's get your thoughts on what you accomplished last night at Chaffetz Arena.
Well, first of all, I thought it was a really good win for us. I think this Illinois State team that we played had a lot of returning players, several high-level transfers, and I just think it was a really good win for our team this time of year. I think we did a lot of good things, a lot of really good things, especially early. Went on some really good runs. Our defense, for most part in the first half, was really, really good. Went on some really great runs offensively. And then in the second half, we go up 24, which is, I be honest, we wouldn't have thought we could have done against that team to even go up 24. But we go up 24, and then we start facing some adversity. We couldn't score. We got stuck on 71 for a very long period of time. We started having some injuries, started getting into foul trouble, and really felt some adversity, which at the end of the game, I'm glad we won, and I'm glad we went through the adversity. This time of year, this team really needs to learn as much as we can in every opportunity. So overall, I thought it was a good game and a game that we can learn a lot from.
Yeah, it's a really good point. You knew that Illinois State coming out of the Valley would be a challenge, and you were able to handle them. You're going to get Wyoming down in Myrtle Beach on Thursday, and things will continue to present challenges your way. But this Illinois State team came with a lot of size, and you tried to counter a little bit, getting Bruce Zhang into the game. But when it comes down to it, I mean, he's just kind of getting his feet wet here. I mean, I don't know. It takes forever, it seems, to get players cleared by the NCAA, but that's another story for another day, I guess. But getting some of these players involved is really what you need to do. Get some size going.
We do. He just needs time, needs experience. We want to get him as much playing time as we can, but we don't want to throw too much at him too soon. And I thought he did a great job. I thought Big Bruce did a great job getting in there and getting an offensive rebound, a putback, and a score, making his free throw. I think you'll see as time goes along him getting a little bit more playing time each game. But his size, no question, his height, is something that we need. It will allow, hopefully for us to be able to play TJs in different positions as well. But, again, I go back, 3 games into the season with a lot of new guys. We just need the opportunity that we can.
I hear you on that. I really like this team, the ability to score the basketball, but you also turn the ball over 8 times. You've got to feel pretty good about that number, I would think.
I feel great about it. It's a number we want to try to do 10 or less each game, and we've been under that in our games. And that's very important, especially when you can score when, in spurts like we can. And if scoring can become a strength of ours, then you have to take care of the ball for that to, really, really work. You don't want to negate it by turning it over. And I actually talked to our team before the game and in the locker room about that we need as many shot opportunities as we can get. We're going to take some tough shots at times because we have some guys that can make some tough shots. But the last thing we need to do is turn the ball over. That will negate everything we're trying to accomplish, the system we're trying to play, the speed we're trying to play with. And so far, our guys have done a good job of that.
This is Travis Ford, the head coach of the Billikens. I'll be heading over to Chaffetz Arena here in just a bit to call the women's game against Mizzou. Rebecca Tillett's got herself a team, too. They dropped the first one against Drake, but this one against Missouri is a big one. It's a blue out. I know there's a lot of good stuff going over at SLU, isn't there, on the women's side, especially with the women's soccer team advancing?
Absolutely. You look at what the women's soccer is doing year in and year out. I think they're playing their best right now, it seems like, to me. And you're exactly right. Rebecca's got a great returning team, pretty much our whole team returning. And I think great things are going to happen.
I really have enjoyed watching your team thus far. It is a lot of fun to see college basketball alive and well in St. Louis and beyond. Fun time of year, isn't it? I know that for you it's step by step, but it is great to hear the ball bouncing again.
It is. It's a fun time of year, just trying to get things. And, we've got a big stretch coming up with Myrtle Beach and, 3 games in 4 days. So we'll really get a good test to see where our team is at.
We'll be with you every step of the way, Coach. Thanks for the visit very much. We appreciate it.
Always enjoy it, Tom. Thanks a lot.
Good talking some ball with Travis Ford. His team's 3-0. Off to a good start. Beat USI, beat Lincoln, and now they have defeated Illinois State. Good team. Up next, Wyoming, as he mentioned. That'll be 1 o'clock on Thursday in Myrtle Beach. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll talk the women's side with Rebecca Tillett, the head coach at St. Louis University. We'll also hear from Mark Schreiber, the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. The Musial Awards are coming to St. Louis once again. The National Award Show is this Saturday, and it'll air on Christmas Eve on CBS. We'll get details from him, Rebecca Tillett, next.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed, free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319. 800-221-6319. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
When a parent struggles with addiction or dies from a drug overdose, what happens to their children? Far too many end up in foster care, unable to ever return to their birth homes because it's simply not safe. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is fighting the clock so that teens don't age out of foster care, leaving them at a higher risk of addiction and other negative outcomes that can happen to a child without the love and stability of a permanent family. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
It's Medicare annual enrollment period, so why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for St. Louis. Trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Great to catch up with Travis Ford in the last segment. Tom Hart before that. We're going to hear from Rebecca Tillett, the women's coach at St. Louis University, about a big game today. That is on the way in just a matter of moments. But joining us right now is the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. He is Mark Schreiber at 10:45 on Sports on a Sunday morning. Good morning, Mark. Is he there? Mark, you there?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Hey,
yep, I hear
how you doing?
Fine. Good. We've got a big event coming up on Saturday, the Musial Awards, and I know that it's an exciting lineup. My question to you is, how big of an undertaking is this for everybody to put on a national award show each and every year at Stifel Theater?
It drives us crazy, but it's all good. It's a huge undertaking for us, but it's because the event is so important to the Sports Commission, and it's so important to St. Louis for us to be able to have this national platform to showcase St. Louis as the home of celebrating sportsmanship in America. So, we're very fortunate that we have great support, especially from Maryville University as our title sponsor, and our staff just organizationally does a terrific job. And Amanda Lutz, especially on our end, Indiana alum for you, has just done wonderful work putting together a great show for Saturday.
It's a show that is going to feature former Senator Bill Bradley receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. We have seen some of the biggest names in sports receive that award through the years at the Music Awards. Let's talk about him first. How did this come about, and what is the background?
So every year, we have our Lifetime Achievement Award that is intended to recognize an iconic sports figure who embodies the qualities and virtues of Stan the Man. And we have this wonderful tradition, as you mentioned. It's, Arnold Palmer, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Hank Aaron, Wayne Gretzky, Albert Pujols. We go on and on. And, we look out at the landscape and try to figure out, we have a list of the top iconic people that we think embody sportsmanship. And we got a little help, a little bit of an assist from Bob Costas, of all people, on this one, to be able to connect us to Bill Bradley. And I think he's the perfect recipient of this, because of his basketball career, going back to playing at Princeton and the New York Knicks, and the selflessness that he showed. But you add in his political career and what he represents, the civility that he had in politics. And I think that's so timely right now with, all the issues that we have in our political climate. And here's somebody who represented what it meant to reach across the aisle. And real quick, the one thing I'd add about that, in our video that we're doing profiling Bill Bradley, we have Jack Danforth giving a great soundbite just talking about how sports is such a model for this. In hockey, you get banged up, there's fights, whatever, but after the game, everybody shakes hands. And that's what we need more in politics, and that's what Bill Bradley represented.
Also receiving a Musial Award for Extraordinary Character is Adam Wainwright, who has retired from Major League Baseball, and his life in baseball is just beginning. He is going to be everywhere, as he already is. But as a St. Louis Cardinal and as a part of this community, it doesn't need to be said too much what he means to everybody. This is, however, something I'm sure he will fully embrace, Mark. This is pretty special.
Yeah, and what I love too, when we have a lot of our high-profile honorees come in, they don't really realize what they're getting into. And I think, obviously, for Wainwright, the musial connection is going to be very meaningful. But when I think he sits down in the audience Saturday night and sees what he's a part of, it's going to even raise the stakes even more. But yes, again, ideal recipient of the award for his humbleness, his perseverance, and just his overall class. We make this event very national, but we'd like to keep to our St. Louis roots. So to be able to have the hook of Wainwright being honored is really important and special for us.
Last thing for you, and it's a two-part question. One, I don't want to give anything away, but what is a story that you think will really get the tears flowing from this crowd at Stiefel Theater on Saturday night? And two, do you have any tickets left? Because I know that this theater sells out or comes close to it.
So I'll answer the first part, or your second question first. And yes, we do have a few tickets left. The great thing is they're as low as $10. But we do have tickets at musialawards.com, and there's also a special, what we call an honoree circle ticket. It's in the section right behind the honorees, and you get access to the after party and parking. So all that info is at musialawards.com. The story that's going to cause everybody to utilize the Musial Awards tissues that we leave at their seats is going to be this wonderful story about actually the horse, Cody's Wish, who had this incredible connection with a young man named Cody Dorman, who actually sadly passed away a couple weeks ago. But the story, the bond between them, and what the ownership group of Cody's Wish did to impact this young man's life I think that one is just going to be tremendously emotional and uplifting and really represents all that's right in sports for us. So that's going to be a great moment and a very inspirational moment for all of us.
It always is amazing when Mike Bush presents these videos, and then it all comes to life when the actual participants and the awardees show up on stage together. It's the Musial Awards, Stiefel Theater this Saturday. MusialAwards.com is where you can find tickets and information on a great event. Mark, thanks for joining us. I'll see you there Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Can't wait to see you there.
President of the St. Louis Sports Commission, Mark Schreiber on KMOX. It's 10:51. We are joined now by the SLU women's basketball coach. Big game coming up this afternoon against the University of Missouri. Coach Rebecca Tillett is with us on KMOX. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for being with us. I look forward to seeing you a little bit.
Hi, Tom. So great to hear from you. And yeah, we're pumped for today. Really looking forward to this opportunity.
I bet you are. You and I are going to talk before the game, so I want to make this brief, but I can't let a Sports on a Sunday morning go by on a game day without sneaking you on there, especially when you're expecting some fans to come in wearing blue. I have my blue on. I'll be on the sidelines calling the game. It is a blue out against Mizzou. Let's start there. What would you like to see from the crowd today?
Just really want an active crowd. Teams are fueled by the activity that happens in the crowd and the excitement. And I think this is just a great opportunity for our women to come out and, play big, right? Hit some big shots, get some big stops. And I think our women are locked in and ready to go.
It's a 3:00 tip today, and you can grab tickets at the box office, or you can go online and get them ahead of time. But SLU will play at Chaffetz Arena against Missouri. What is your team looking like this year? Picked high in the A10, third, if I'm not mistaken. I know you dropped the first one against Drake. It is early in the season as you see these women gel.
Yeah, really looking forward to just seeing this group find their identity together. Drake's a, NCAA tournament team pretty consistently, so that was intentional by us to get that opportunity in preparation before Mizzou. This group can really score it. We did not showcase that as well against Drake as I think people will see today. And then looking to build on our defense from last year and already seeing that trend in the right direction.
You do have some size. I know that replacing Brooke Flowers is not easy, but you've been able to get some post presence, haven't you?
We have, and thank goodness Brooke is still on the bench, everybody. So she's out here helping people get better. But yeah, we brought in 3 transfers. All 3 have some physicality and toughness about them in the paint, which we thought we really needed to advance this season.
And Kyla McMakin can really light it up. What does she bring to the table, not only as a player, but as a person?
Yeah, right now she's the 3rd leading active scorer in NCAA. Caitlin Clark is one of those other young women mentioned in that conversation. But what I always want people to know about Kyla is her leadership and the way that she wants her teammates to be successful. It's powerful, and it's powerful in every interaction we have as a team.
Julia Martinez brings everything to the table. She's got a complete game. How has she been so far as she made the decision last year? I'm not surprised that she wanted to come back and be part of this program and this party.
Julia is so disruptive and so smart, right? So she's one of those women that you show one clip and she's going to find a way to translate that into the game. So as scout coaches, we're always looking for, okay, what can we get that Julia might be able to disrupt? So really, really excited about her elevating again this season.
When I watch SportsCenter in the morning and I see promotions for women's basketball in prime slots, it makes me smile because those slots in the past were given to men's games. They were given to shows about the NFL. I mean, whatever excuse they could have to put on the big revenue sports. I think that it is a platform now that women's sports have been able to gain some headway here. Do you feel that, especially in women's basketball?
We absolutely can feel it. And I think it's just a great time to be a woman in sport right now. This is the time where it's exploding on multiple sports, multiple levels. Just really excited about the, momentum that women's basketball has. And that's one of the reasons that I came to St. Louis, right? I want to build that momentum here in our town for St. Louis. So we need everybody out there today in order to help us do that. And, there used to be a time where it was the nice thing to do for women's sports, or it's always been the right thing to do. And now it's also a profitable investment.
I hear you on that. I could make the argument, actually, that Caitlin Clark is the most popular college basketball player in the country. And I might not be wrong there. I mean, if you have somebody like that to watch, that can bring them in.
Well, and the really neat thing about that, I got to see her play live last year in the NCAA tournament game, and you can't even look down at your phone. Like, you can't even take a break because she's going to make a play. And then there's also some other dynamic personalities in the country right now, and including some on our team, that have an opportunity to make this just an incredible year for women's basketball.
Maybe you'll see her in the tournament down the road. I don't know. I mean, there's a long way to go, but who knows? Never know.
Right.
Congratulations on all of your success so far. I'll see you over there today. Thanks for joining me for a few minutes to preview today's game against Mizzou.
Can't wait to spend time with you, and thank you always for your coverage of women's sports.
You bet. I'll have the call today at 3 o'clock, 2:45 pregame. It's SLU and Mizzou from Chaffetz Arena. Women's basketball. Get down there and support the Billikens or the Tigers, whatever you want to do. Get in there. But if you're supporting the Billikens, we're blue. We will be back with more sports on a Sunday morning after the 11 o'clock news, including our NFL picks. John Mozeliak's going to join us live today. We'll look at the Blues win as well on KMOX.
Says here that Gray Bar is a distributor.
Yeah, we support electrical and datacom projects all over the country.
So you can get me the products I need, where and when I need them?
Yeah, thanks to our national logistics network.
Any industry?
Yeah, construction, industrial plants, schools, hospitals.
So you could say Gray Bar is much more than a distributor.
Yeah, you could say that. When you need a hand powering, connecting, or maintaining your operations, join the thousands of professionals who rely on Gray Bar to help keep them up and running. Yeah, Gray Bar does that.
They're good.
Gooder than you can imagine.
And you can assure me that they've got it going on.
Most of St. Louis thinks so.
But my lips are turning blue. Are they fast?
My darling, Jerry Kelly can install a new furnace tomorrow, no matter what day tomorrow is, even if we call late night.
You are my hero.
Technically, Jerry Kelly is your hero, but I'll take it.
JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments and get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Everybody needs an electrician, and Reinhold Electric is your electrician in this area and so far out, like Lake of the Ozarks, Kansas City, Springfield, southwestern Illinois. When it comes to residential or commercial work that needs to be done, they've got you covered. You need a panel upgrade, lighting installation, or some expert troubleshooting, they offer 24-hour emergency service. So keep their number, 314-631-1158, online at ReinholdElectric.com. That's ReinholdElectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
KMOX, KEZK, HD2 St. Louis.
Your home of the Chiefs. This is KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Wendy Gillette. 5 U.S. service members were killed when their plane crashed in the Mediterranean during a training exercise. In the Middle East, Hamas says it has halted hostage negotiations because of Israel's attacks on a Gaza hospital. But the fight to free Americans continues, according to White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan on CBS's Face the Nation.
I'm not going to get into the specifics of what's on the table, only to say that we are actively working to ensure the safe return of every American, being held hostage and every other person being held hostage by Hamas.
Israel Defense Forces spokesperson Libby Weiss says the country is not firing on the hospital.
The IDF is not targeting the Shifa hospital. We are responding to fire that is being launched by Hamas adjacent to the hospital, which I think just symbolizes disregard that Hamas has for hospitals and other civilian areas.
House Republicans have a proposal to avert a government shutdown at the end of this week.
Speaker Mike Johnson released a two-step CR, or continuing resolution, that would extend funding through January 19th and again February 2nd. It would be contingent on passing certain long-term appropriations bills by then. The package does not include funding for Israel, Ukraine, or the border. Johnson said it's a necessary bill to allow Republicans to fight for conservative priorities. House Democrats are still reviewing the measure, but the White House called it an unserious proposal. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden is scheduled to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Wednesday in San Francisco. Residents there are already preparing, as KPIX TV's Dalin reports.
I'm already having difficulties getting around because of the gates putting up.
Alexandra Alver lives in one of the several senior housing complexes across from Moscone Center.
I don't think I'll be able to go out, really. I've been stocking up on my, household supplies and whatnot.
Like Alexandra, many seniors tell me they've rescheduled doctor's appointments and are preparing the week like a pandemic lockdown.
This year's hurricane season is coming to an end.
There are just under 3 weeks left in the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. The National Hurricane Center says it's watching a system in the Southwest Caribbean that has about a 20% chance to develop into something stronger, perhaps a tropical system. There have been 20 named storms this year. Only 2 names remain on the list, Vince and Wilma. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
This year, the majority of tropical storms and hurricanes have remained over open sea. This is CBS News.
You don't need a job platform, you need a hiring partner. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credits.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have sunny skies and 56 downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour: a women's college basketball team visiting St. Louis experienced heartbreak and then kindness. The Anderson University squad from Indiana stopped Friday for a photo op at the Arch. The team's coach says while they were away from their van for about a half hour, some thieves broke into the vehicle and stole the players' backpacks. The kindness part came from basketball tournament host Webster University. Its players gathered jerseys, shoes, and other needs for Anderson's players to compete. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and other dignitaries honored U.S. veterans Saturday at a ceremony in Chicago.
The veterans here today and all across our country are the shepherds of liberty, the marshals of democracy, the protectors of our freedom.
Pritzker also spoke about the 5 veterans' home facilities in Illinois, including the one undergoing a transformation in Quincy. A recent report found the most healthy hotspots in the state, and 2 of them are right here in our area.
With cooler weather here and little to no daylight after work, exercise might not be top of mind, but nearly a third of U.S. adults say they do not get any kind of physical exercise in a typical week. Northwell Health partnering with Stacker recently to analyze data from the CDC's annual Places report to come up with the 25 most physically active cities in Missouri. St. Louis coming in at number 3, St. Charles taking second place, and Platte, Missouri in the top spot as the city reporting the most physical activity in the state. Melanie Steen, KMOX News.
Wash U found out yesterday it has a Rhodes Scholar elect for next year. Victoria Torrey Harwell of Denver. Is a senior majoring in African and African American studies. Harwell is the 30th winner in Washington University history. Of course, the Rhodes Scholar program gives students a chance to earn advanced degrees at Oxford. 57 degrees right now. We're going up to about 64. Overnight 43, and then it just keeps warming up. Tomorrow 67, upper 60s on Tuesday, lower 70s on Wednesday and Thursday. A beautiful week in store. As I said, 57 in St. Peter's, 56 in Florissant. We have sunny skies and 56 downtown. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Missouri wins it over Tennessee 36-7 on CBS. And here is the post-game interview that I was alluding to earlier. Jenny Dell with Cody Schrader, Brady Cook. They are flanking Coach Eli Drinkwitz.
Coach and the star of the show with Jenny on the field.
All right, Coach, we'll start with you. Tennessee State champs, something to prove. That's been your mantra really all season long. Yeah. How did you live it out there tonight?
You know, our team came out. We wanted to stand on business tonight, and we had some unfinished business from last year, and we came out and took care of business. Couldn't be any prouder of this guy. Mindset, talent, and hard work, and this guy can't say enough, man. Great win. Our defense kicked their ass tonight.
All right, Cody, you go from D2 to the leading rusher in the SEC, over 300 yards of total offense in this one. Can you believe the story that you're writing?
No, I'm just going to be eternally grateful for the rest of my life to this university, to Coach Drink and this my brotherhood on this football team, because they believed in me when nobody else did.
Part of a champion's all I know.
And Brady, you have carried the emotions of this program from start to finish. How are you able to lead this team through the highs and the lows and today's huge victory?
I mean, it's them. It's not me. I've been here for 4 years, and it's the people around me that made this team. I mean, I shouldn't even be in this interview. It should be Cody, the O-line. I mean, I've never seen it. I've never seen a performance like that in the defense. I mean, they stand on business too. So, I mean, this isn't about me. This is about Mizzou, and this is about this brotherhood. So,
congratulations on the great win. It was a great team effort. And I got to say, keep cooking.
Right there, baby.
Yeah, I love that. So Brady Cook, who said I shouldn't even be in this interview. That tells you all you need to know about what's going on inside that locker room. That is a special team right there. Cody Schrader, what a game. Brady Cook was very good as quarterback. The defense was outstanding. And Eli Drinkwitz, who I say every week, he reminds me of a young Steve Spurrier with that visor on and that swagger and the little pokes here and there. You know, he's good with the media and a little poke there. Tennessee State champs. They beat Tennessee, Memphis, and Vanderbilt, the clean sweep of the state, and Missouri with an emphatic 36-7 win over Tennessee yesterday. Welcome to the second hour of our show. We had a nice chat with Tom Hart a little earlier on college football and the SEC in particular, and what's going on down not only in Columbia but at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher reportedly going to be fired today with a $75, almost $76 million buyout. That is happening today. There's a lot happening in terms of the college football playoff and what that's going to look like. And while Missouri won't be part of the college football playoff, they do have a chance to play on New Year's Day in a bowl game that certainly could propel this program into the upper echelon of the SEC in terms of exposure, recruiting, try to get on that path, because that was a big win yesterday, a step in the right direction, no doubt. Now we shift our attention to professional football.
And a key block by the left guard, Tom Ackerman. And right here, let's go downstairs to Moss.
Marv, if you remember that big run Robert Holcomb had on the first drive, one of the guys responsible on help busting him loose was Tom Ackerman.
Tom Ackerman up front, and this is a unit that has played very well. A good night for Eddie George. 21 carries, 74 yards. The left guard, Tom Ackerman, with the block that set him free. It's a first down.
Yes, indeed. It is that time to talk some pro football, the NFL, and get our picks in for this week. I will interject and say that Ken Rosenthal has just reposted a tweet that the Astros have announced a press conference at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at Minute Maid Park. So we'll see what their next moves are, and I'll keep you updated that John Mozeliak is going to be with us here at 11:30 on Sports on a Sunday morning. I should always mention that, Drew, because I know a lot of people listen to the show to hear Mo's comments. He's very kind to join us every single Sunday when he can. There are some times where he's traveling, which was the case last week. We didn't have a show last week anyway because we had the Chiefs. One game that's going on right now in the NFL, another game in Frankfurt, Germany, and it's the Colts and the Patriots. Patriots are a shell of their former selves. The Colts just picked off a pass at the goal line. They have the ball at the 2-minute warning and a 10-6 lead, trying to close this game out against the Patriots in a low-scoring affair in Frankfurt. 10-6. The Colts have the ball at midfield at the 2-minute warning and trying to put it away. Well, let's take a look at the games today. Pretty good game here. San Francisco at Jacksonville. The 49ers are a 3-point favorite in Jacksonville. The Jaguars are a good team, though, and the 49ers have been faltering here lately. They've lost 3 in a row. However, coming off a bye and going to Jacksonville, maybe getting themselves healthy and getting themselves refocused, I would be floored if they lost their 4th straight game. As good as the Jaguars are, I'm going to go with the 49ers, and I'm actually going to give the 3 points as well. I'm going to go 49ers -3 at Jacksonville. Should be a good game, though. Elsewhere today, New Orleans at Minnesota. That is a noon kickoff. The Vikings are a 2.5-point dog at home. I don't understand why that would be. They've won 4 in a row, and I know the Saints have a good team and all. And I know that, Kirk Cousins being out, but did anyone watch the magic of last week with Josh Dobbs? I mean, Joshua Dobbs is a good player. I've got the Vikings. I feel like it's a gift, but that could be just me. I'll go Vikings +3 at home. Tennessee at Tampa Bay. That one kicks off at noon as well. The Bucks are a 2.5-point favorite. That line has moved. They were 1.5. Now it's 2.5 as of this morning. I don't care how many it is. I like the Titans on the road in that one. I think the Titans are not. They're better than a 3-5 team. Not a great team, but the Bucks are falling apart here. They've lost 4 in a row. I don't see a lot out of them. I'm going to go Titans and the points. I will take Titans +2.5 on the road at Tampa Bay. Oh, I love this Cleveland-Baltimore game. The Browns and the Ravens. Browns fans hate the Ravens back when Art Modell moved them out of Cleveland and made them into Baltimore. This has been a spicy rivalry that Baltimore has pretty much dominated for a while. I've always liked the Browns. Blue-collar fan base just can't seem to get over the hump. I don't know why that's attractive to me. The Browns are a 6-point dog on the road at Baltimore. And as good as the Ravens are, and they are good, really good. I mean, this is a quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who can do it all through the air and on the ground. This is a good defense for Cleveland, and I think they're going to keep this game close, and I will take them +6 on the road at Baltimore. Atlanta at Arizona, 2 really disappointing teams. Arizona has no expectation. Atlanta's 4-5 and just kind of a sputtering team. They're a 2-point favorite as of this morning, and I'll take them. I'll take the Falcons -2. I don't believe in Arizona enough to be taking them at this point. They're 1-8 on the season. Green Bay at Pittsburgh, couple of classic NFL teams there. I've been telling you all season I believe in the Steelers, that eventually they're going to get things rolling here, and I like them today. Steelers -3 at home against the Packers. Some of the later games today, you've got Atlanta at Arizona, I mentioned. Detroit at the Chargers. Should be a high-scoring affair, I would think. The Chargers are a 2.5-point dog at home against the Lions. That has now moved to 3. So it's Detroit -3 at the Chargers. I know the Lions are good. They're 6-2. They're starting to move. I'm going to go the home dog today and take the Chargers +3. Giants at Dallas. Drew, I'm so sorry, but the Giants just cannot get anything going here. I mean, it is just that collapse against the Jets was kind of like the final nail in the coffin for me. It's just a bad football team this year. There's not much they can do about it. They are a whopping, and I mean whopping, 17.5-point underdog at Dallas. 17.5 at Dallas. You know what, Drew? I'm going to take the Giants +17.5. I'm going to take the Giants +17.5. That took it. Once they got past 17, I'll take it. Let's do it. Let's just see what happens. The Cowboys should win that game pretty easily, and then maybe take their foot off the gas and let those who are taking the Giants plus 17.5 have a little fun. Washington at Seattle. The Seahawks, good team at 5-3. Washington at 4-5 on the season. Hawks are a 6-point favorite. I really like Sam Howell, the quarterback for Washington, and the Commanders plus 6. I don't like it that much. I'll go Seattle at home -6. I like Seattle giving the 6. So 6-point spreads aren't great. Seattle wins by a touchdown. You win the game if you have Seattle -6. So I'll do that. The Jets at Vegas. That one will get going tonight. The Jets are back to 4-4. The Jets are favorites in this game by a point against the Raiders. Yeah, I'll ride it. Sure, I'll take the Jets. Jets are all right. I mean, they got embarrassed by the Chargers last week, but the Chargers have a good D. The Jets had won 3 straight before that. I'll go Jets. We'll take the Jets. The 1-point fair, I'll give the point to the Raiders. And then the Monday night game, Denver at Buffalo. Is Scott Jagow listening right now? He's a big Bills fan. Denver at Buffalo, 7 points is the spread. I love the Bills here, actually. I'll take the Bills. I think they're going to win this easily. Bills -7 at home against the Broncos. It's 11:17. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll recap what City accomplished and still has yet to accomplish. Then at 11:30, it's John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations. He will be along with us. At 11:45, we'll go to hockey. The Blues with a very impressive win last night, 8-2 over the Avalanche. This is Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
We go where you go. 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-221-6319. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-221-6319.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319, or go to oxcarcare.com.
Nobody wants a surprise in their jelly donut.
It's toothpaste?
That's because the middle is the most important part. At Graybar, we're at the middle of electrical and datacom jobs across the country, connecting installers, facility managers, and business owners with smart solutions for their most challenging projects, which means stocking and delivering crucial products on time and on budget with no surprises, thanks to our nationwide logistics network. Yep, Graybar does that.
St. Louis Weight Loss Secret is having a huge one-day only holiday flash sale with $500 off. The flash sale is Wednesday, November 15th from 9 to 5. This is Debbie Monterey. Mark your calendar for this one-day only huge event to take advantage of the lowest prices of the year on the amazing St. Louis Weight Loss Secret program. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no HCG, no drugs, no injections, and no surgery. On Wednesday, November 15th, go to moweightloss.com and sign up. Start losing those unwanted pounds either before, during, or after the holidays. No more losing weight and gaining it back. They will teach you how to keep the weight off for good. I've lost 40 pounds with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. You can lose the weight too. Remember the huge flash sale with $500 off November 15th. moweightloss.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Thinking of having turkey for the holidays? Make sure to buy one that was humanely and ethically raised. One of the best options is to buy a turkey direct from a local farm. If that's not an option, look for turkeys that are labeled either USDA organic or certified humane. Be wary of terms like natural, cage-free, and no hormones, as these terms aren't regulated. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Royal Banks of Missouri is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks brings in experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal opportunity lender. Looking for a new home or to refinance your current mortgage? Royal Banks of Missouri wants to be your home buying partner. With a local staff that will guide you through the process, Royal Banks is an experienced mortgage lender that you can trust. There's still time to lock in on a low rate. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Young people are leaving foster care at the age of 18 with little support and few skills. The National Fund for Foster Children partners with individuals, businesses, churches, and civic groups to provide mentorship, training, and assistance to foster children. Teach a young person a new skill or help them with homework. You don't need to be a foster parent to help a foster child. To find out how you can help, go to fosterchildrenfund.org or contact us on Facebook, National Fund for Foster Children.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. This is Roman Berkey, and we'll play yours, Drew, in just a minute. Let me play mine over here and start with the positive, and that is that Roman Berkey is the MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, the 2023 All-State MLS Goalkeeper of the Year. The league announced that this past week. First goalkeeper to win the award while playing for an expansion club in its inaugural MLS season since 1998. First ever St. Louis City SC player to earn an individual MLS year-end award honor. It's a lot of firsts for this team, and Berkey's 17 wins, the most of any goalkeeper in their first MLS season during the post-shootout era. Most wins during the shootout era. That is 17. That also has him as the first goalkeeper to produce at least 120 saves and 8 clean sheets since 2019. Second highest save percentage of all goalkeepers to keep at least 8 clean sheets this season. Here he is, Roman Berkey, once he received the news, addressing his team.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach. It's an honor for me, but I really big honor is for me to be in the team surrounded with guys like this. You guys, beautiful characters, beautiful people. The whole team, everyone here inside. Also, big thanks to Ben, Dreek, who's not here, and Alex for making every day a great day. Like I can improve, still improve. I'm 33 almost, but instead of improve. Thanks for Alex training and Ben the social media. I know that whatever happens, if I'm not playing, Ben is here. You know, is a top guy. He's a top goalkeeper, and just thankful to be here and still playing for something important. And we just need to be ready for tomorrow and focus up. Today, we can have fun, but tomorrow it counts, and we have to be ready.
That's Roman Berkey when he learned that he was goalkeeper of the year. I love that he gives credit to his backup goalkeeper, Ben Lunt, in that address to the players inside City Park. Now, here he is with the media, and this is the downside of it. The season has come to an end, and they'll be watching the MLS playoffs after their 2-game ouster by Sporting KC.
Roman, just how do you sum up this experience, the tremendousness of the regular season, then a quick exit from the playoffs? Is it a mixture of emotions or just all bad emotions at a time like this?
I mean, I was pretty tired. I've never had a season that long, like with no breaks. I think it's first of all to talk about the season. We had a great season, but it's actually really long. You see a lot of injury breaks. I hope the other guy, I don't know, Rosario, it's nothing too serious that he can go on. But no, we played good. Second half, I think we put a lot of pressure, and we had the chance, but we didn't score, and we conceded one too much.
Corey? Yeah. How do you hope St. Louis remembers this first year for you guys?
How I hope
how St. Louis, how the supporters, how the fans, how the city remembers the first ever team here to do this.
That we are, I would say, an honest group, an honest team. We leave everything we have on the field. We try to do our best every time we step on the field, especially also for them, because today again the support that we had, sometimes they were louder than the Kansas fans, and I mean that shows a lot, and it's just amazing the support that we have, and but obviously they can be disappointed as well. I mean, we tried our best to win the conference and then go out in the first round. Could definitely be better, but I would say the guys, the whole team, tried to give everything in every game, especially also in the home games when we played in front of them.
That's Roman Berkey after the loss to Sporting KC. It is a bag of mixed emotions, I would say. On one hand, you're very proud that St. Louis has this team, that it has achieved what it's achieved, that it has so much momentum and an incredible fan base, good young players who will continue to grow. Berkey's case, he's 33, but he still has a lot of soccer ahead of him. And on the other hand, it's tough. I mean, they're number one team in the Western Conference. I mean, it was a real opportunity to make a run at a championship, but it's also a dose of reality that the team does have a ways to go and needs more experience this time of year and really throughout the year to be able to do what it sets out to do, which is bring home an MLS Cup. Another step closer next year, I would think, in terms of roster enthusiasm and a year of experience. We'll see how it all goes. 11 world championships for the St. Louis Cardinals, and it is time to begin their pursuit of a 12th here in this offseason, a very important offseason for John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations, joins us next on KMOX.
Reinhold Flooring is dedicated to delivering top-notch flooring solutions with a commitment to customer satisfaction. We ensure your needs are met with the highest level of service. We stand firmly behind our work and make things right when issues arise. Based in St. Louis, we take pride in offering a comprehensive range of services, from crafting custom area rugs to providing manufacturer-approved floor cleaning supplies and even free in-home estimates. We cater to the builder and commercial business with high-quality flooring solutions. Learn more at reinholdflooring.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
If you're thinking about doing a little home improvement, especially one that you don't have to do the installation, think about getting a Beam central vacuum system. It's the kind of home upgrade that really checks all the boxes, because when you compare and evaluate, a Beam system makes so much sense. There's a reason why nearly every high-end home in St. Louis is built with a Beam. A Beam vacuum system is very smart because it adds value to your home. Beam Whole House Vacuum System starts at just $11.99, including installation, and it's an investment, not just in your home, but in a healthy lifestyle. Every time you vacuum, you'll save time because a Beam is more efficient and 5 times stronger, so you'll clean better in less time. And since you're getting all the deep down dirt and grit, vacuuming with a Beam will keep your rugs and carpets looking brand new for many years to come. So you get value from your Beam system every day. Call Beam of St. Louis today. 314-567-1515 or online at beamstl.com.
Beam's home sale is starting early. Every system for every size home now on sale.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
11:31 Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. As always, we welcome in the president of baseball operations of the St. Louis Cardinals. John Mozeliak is with us. Good morning, Mo. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Tony.
Always good to talk some ball with you. I tell you every week, people appreciate our conversations and your openness and willingness to discuss some ball with us. I know there's only so much that can be said during the free agent period, so we do try to keep to that policy. And I know people are antsy. You know, that's part of the reason they enjoy it. They tune in to hear, but it's tough to get a bunch of answers right now, isn't it? We're still a little early.
Well, it is. It is early. Obviously, we just left the GM meetings on Thursday, wrapped that up in Scottsdale. But it was definitely, I think, valuable time, and it was helpful to just get a sense of really where, players are hoping to go. And in other words, like, we can have a whole lot of interest in player X, but if they don't have a whole lot of interest in us, it's not very, fruitful. But just kind of getting a sense of St. Louis still being a desirable place to play, players having interest in us. I mean, as you know, the proxy is usually length and dollars, but it's still nice to know that this is a desirable place to be. So that part was super helpful this week. And then, of course, we did meet with a lot of different teams and sort of get a sense of what that possible trade market might look like as the offseason unfolds.
Yeah, one of the criteria you brought up, or at least something that makes St. Louis or a free agent location attractive, is opportunity. Is that working in your favor, do you think, as you do have 3 slots available in this rotation?
Yeah, I think so. Clearly, when you're looking at players that are trying to decide, like, do they want to reestablish themselves? Do they want to just go somewhere where they want to be? But knowing that there are a lot of for sale signs open in that group, I think that's pretty helpful for us. And so just the overall tenor of the conversations I thought were really positive this past week, and that left me very encouraged.
Just to paint this again with a broad brush, but to look at what you're trying to accomplish pitching wise, is depth, innings, also some attractiveness. I mean, you'd love to have some heavy hitters in that rotation. It comes at a cost, but I guess it's a mixture there. You'd like to kick the tires on some of those headliners, but as you just mentioned, someone who wants to reestablish themselves. That's an ongoing scouting effort by your group, isn't it?
Right. I mean, obviously, we know we need to have some sure thing, which is almost impossible to guarantee. I mean, you understand that pitching comes with risk from a medical standpoint, from a performance standpoint, but trying to navigate that with what some people have done this past season or in their career, but also trying to just make sure that when we enter camp and we break camp in 2024, that we know we can count on some innings throughout the season where we just didn't have this past year.
What about in the bullpen? How do you see that? I know you've mentioned on the show in the past, adding some horsepower there would certainly be attractive. Is that something you can solve externally and internally?
Well, I do think, as we look at the market as well as the trade market, if there's ways we can bolster that, I think we certainly want to try. We do have some confidence in our bullpen right now, understanding that we missed some time last year with some of our stronger relievers, but that missed time usually bodes well in the future for them because less pitches thrown. So, but when we look at sort of the complexity of bullpens, yeah, if we could find some swing and miss, that would be something we would try to do.
John Mozeliak with us on KMOX. There's also the position player side of it. It does sound like, I mean, of course, there's only so many players for so many positions, but it sounds like by and large, you're pretty happy with your everyday lineup when it's healthy. However that ends up being constructed. From a position player standpoint, you seem pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I feel like we like what we have for sure. You could argue there's some redundancy, so we have to sort of work through that as the off season unfolds. And then I think we also have to always just sort of remain opportunistic on what might be out there or what could maybe possibly help us as we start to really look at building this roster. But I don't think we have anything like where we feel like, oh, we have to do X yet. But this is very fluid. Things change. Opportunities sometimes present themselves. Sometimes they go away. The key is really just making sure the group's prepared and, as we work towards winter meetings now. So that's really what the St. Louis Cardinals baseball ops are going to do.
Yeah, I get that. Jordan Walker, what a first season he had. What growth for the young man. How will he spend his off season getting ready for year two?
Last I heard, he has established himself down in Jupiter, Florida, which is great. And so we'll set up a off-season curriculum for him so he can pop in and out of the complex and get his work in as desired. And then, ultimately, I think the biggest thing for him is obviously to work on getting himself to improve on the defensive side. And then from an offensive standpoint, really just kind of build on what he did this year. So super excited about what we have there. And, I really do think he could be like an incredible talent throughout the years.
How are things going for Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, and not to mention Dylan Carlson when it comes to mending, trying to get back on the right side of things?
Yeah, so everybody is on the right side of that curve. They're all in their own PT programs in various places around the country. But right now, just very encouraged where all three are.
Looking back at the small window of time, but a very good one for Thomas Saggese. What are the reviews on Mr. Saggese and what he did, the player you acquired from Texas?
Yeah, I think the easiest takeaway is he has a lot of offensive upside. He just knows how to handle a bat. Really, really good hitter. I think the bigger question for the Cardinals is ultimately what position do we want him to play? Do we want him to be a little bit of that Swiss Army knife where we just move him around the infield? But that's something we just have to determine. But from a bat standpoint, and as you know, if you hit, we'll find places for you to play. So the exciting thing is he has a lot of offensive upside.
Case in point, Nolan Gorman, although he is not a Swiss Army knife necessarily, but you found a spot for him, didn't you? I mean, what a season he had, really. And when he's healthy, who knows?
Yeah, it's incredible power. When you think about his year, making the adjustments from 2022 to 2023 was, something that we were all hoping for. And it's nice to see someone that uses their off season to do that and then come and really have a breakout year. So it was great.
What about John Mozeliak with just a few minutes left with him, and we do appreciate this. Your coaching staff, I know that every day you're just getting closer to trying to gather everybody together. I know we've mentioned Yadi's name together in the past. You can't talk specifically about personnel, but are you any closer to Ollie's staff being finalized?
I mean, I hope so. But, these are fluid situations. Some of the people we're speaking to are having to, make decisions on their side of things as well. And, ultimately, we're just trying to add some support for Ollie and the group, and hopefully we're able to accomplish that. I definitely would like to wrap that up sooner rather than later, but there's been reasons for the delay, and those things happen. And so as I remind myself, sometimes you just have to be patient because, yes, I'd like to focus strictly on roster moving forward, but I understand we still have to deal with some personnel issues, and that's really throughout the organization as well. It's it's always something. And so, just making sure the scouting department's ramped up, just making sure player development's ramped up, and same with the big league staff. So we're all kind of trying to pull in that same direction to get that done, and hopefully we can in the near future.
I certainly understand that, and I know there was reports out there about looking for some outside eyes to take a look at your organization, and again, respecting that you're not going to talk about specific people, but is that something that you continue to do as well? See if you can get an outside perspective.
Yeah, still working on that as well. As you can see, it's a lot of balls in the air, busy time, and hopefully when we have something to announce, we can. But just trying to understand how we can better this organization for the future.
Appreciate the time very much. Thanks for joining us. A little recap of the GM meetings as we get going here in the off season. It's great to have you on KMOX.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. Have a great day.
You too. John Mozeliak, president of baseball operations, joining us at 11:41. We'll take a quick time out. When we return, we will get into what the Blues did last night and touch on a few other things before NFL week kicks off. It's Sports on a Sunday Morning. We're sponsored by Gray Bar, and we're on KMOX.
Ears burning? Feel like someone's talking about you? They are. The Fix-It Right guys at Jerry Kelly Heating and Air are talking about you. In fact, every week, the whole company meets to talk about how to make you happier, how to fix it faster, fix it better, and fix it friendlier. So phone the good guys at Jerry Kelly. We'll fix things in a flash and make you happy you called, which is why we've repeatedly been voted National Contractor of the Year.
JerryKelly.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Football and basketball seasons are in full gear, and BetQL is ready to help you win more consistently this year. BetQL is an absolute game changer if you're looking to find trends to help you win. Make smarter bets on spreads, totals, player props, and more. BetQL has already helped over 300,000 people with powerful analytics and community insights. Don't fumble the ball at the goal line or airball any free throws this season. Visit BetQL.com for their free daily analysis today. That's BetQL.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text code to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text code to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text code to 26022.
Get ready, St. Louis. It's Medicare annual enrollment period. So why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for St. Louis. Trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsace.hardware.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday Morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
It was a good day for St. Louis sports fans in our region. Illinois, early in the day, beat Indiana in overtime, 48-45. Mizzou wins over Tennessee, wins the Tennessee State Championship by beating Memphis, Vanderbilt, and the Vols. 36-7 in that one. SLU wins over Illinois State, 80-71. And then late last night, the St. Louis Blues win. And I mean, they win it big time over the Colorado Avalanche by a final of 8-2. The Blues, who had struggled on the power play, score a couple of them. And at that point, the game was already in hand. The Blues jumped out to a 4-0 lead. They ended up with 2 hat tricks last night. Pavel Buchnevich had one, and Captain Braden Shen had one as well. Here's Coach Craig Berube.
Special teams were really good. I think, our kill got a couple shorties out of it and, scored a couple big power play goals in the third period. But overall, I thought it was a good team effort. Getting to an early start and scoring early. Our goaltender was really solid too.
Is that the type of game you think can get Buchnevich going?
Well, I'm sure any player that, Shannon and Bucci getting 3 goals apiece, they're going to obviously give them some confidence for sure.
I think the early goals did as far as setting the tone, especially with where they started and going into the corner to get one and then fighting 2 guys off to set up another.
I think that, anytime you come in this rink, this team starts fast. We all know that. Getting a couple early goals really settles our team down, puts us in a good spot. But again, I thought Binner was really good. Had to be good in the first too, so he kept us at bay.
And then during that power play right before your shorthanded goal, he had a couple of the saves.
Yeah. Penalty kill was good, but Benner was good on the penalty kill.
That's Derek Gould, by the way, asking those questions from the Post-Dispatch. Gould, a Colorado native in his hometown and visiting with Craig Berube and other media members. Gould once covered the Blues for the Post-Dispatch and was very good at it before he became the St. Louis Cardinals beat writer. That's Craig Berube, Chief. Here is the captain, Braden Shen, on an 8-2 win. Shenner had a hat trick last night against the Avs.
Enjoyment you get from a game like that with a lot of cylinders firing.
Yeah, our offense has really changed. We're starting to come around since the last time we were here in this building. We had some meetings and kind of showing league-wide trends and how to score and what really works and what we were doing that wasn't, right? So ever since then, the buy-in's been there and guys are getting rewarded for it.
Anything specific that stands out from those?
It's not anything flashy. It's putting the puck in deep, grinding teams down, getting to the net, de-shooting pucks, and not passing up opportunities. It's not a recipe where other teams don't know. It's just you have to have a commitment to do it, and when you do, other things open up for you. And like I said, guys get rewarded.
When you scored your 3rd goal, how did it feel to see all those hats raining down on the other team's ice?
Yeah, I'm not a pure goal scorer, so I don't know how many hat tricks I have in my career, but it always feels good to get rewarded. And like I said, Tomer put that one on a tee for me, and I was able to hit it. Like I said, power play finally came through for us. We talked about needing a goal when we really needed one, and we got one when it put the game out of reach.
Yeah, there were some hats that went on the ice in Denver for the Blues. A lot of Blues fans love to make that trip over to Denver to see the Blues play the Avalanche, and Shenner rewarded with his hat trick, also registering a hat trick last night, Pavel Buchnevich.
Not only get 1 hat trick, but 2 hat tricks in the same game, especially on the road here in Denver.
It's pretty cool. I never been involved in the game when 2 guys score a hat trick, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, but the most important, we got to win against a good team, and divisional game, and it's really important for us.
Special teams are always important, but you get a power play goal and 2 shorthanded goals. How nice is that?
Power play goal most important right now for us. We struggle on the power play. Hopefully we turn the point and build momentum and create more chances and scoring more goals on PP.
Yeah, you got to think those numbers are going to correct themselves at some point. The Blues power play has been so poor that eventually it has to change, doesn't it? But Buchnevich with a couple of goals last night and then a hat trick to finish it off. Also a hat trick for Braden Shen, and the Blues win the game. Final score 8-2 over the Avalanche. And it was mentioned in that visit with Craig Berube that also having a good game with all of those goals scored. I mean, that is great, but Jordan Bennington was pretty good last night. He made some big saves. He stopped 36 shots. And here he is following the game, visiting with the media. Always like hearing what Benner has to say. An 8-2 win over the Avs.
How nice is it to get a win in that fashion here in Denver?
Really nice. I think it's a big game for our club, just confidence-wise, and you could see things were connecting for the guys tonight. Power play that started the third period would set the tone for the rest of the game, and it's really good to see. We've been working hard. We've been working on our foundation, and I think just buying in and finding a way and seeing success and seeing guys get some goals and assists, and it all starts from our framework and our foundation. So you just got to keep building every day.
Have you ever been part of a game that had 2 hat tricks from the same team?
I can't remember, to be honest, but it was we were all hoping for Bucci to get another one there, so it's good. It was fun.
How nice is it on the PK to get 2 goals too?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. We were really strong. Penalty kill was great, so it was fun, and it's good. Everyone's happy when things go like that, right? So it's just about staying composed and enjoying this one tonight and getting back to work.
You mentioned staying composed. I mean, you hit 38 saves. You're still seeing a fair amount of shots. Is it easy to stay focused in a game where you're seeing a lot of volume, or is it hard when the score's running up like that?
No, I felt engaged tonight all the way through. This team is obviously highly talented, so they can come back in any match, and I think it was important for us to stay relentless, and every time we're on the ice, make it difficult for the other team. And I think I think we kind of executed that game plan.
No one has a better view of the offense developing than you do. What have you seen like tonight that was kind of a culmination of where the team was headed over kind of last week? Is it found its footing?
I don't know. It's an interesting question. As a goalie, I don't pay too much attention to that, but I think just seeing the guys connect and like I said before, I think it starts with our foundation, but I think once we understand that in the long game, sometimes teams will get frustrated if they can't get by us, and then when a score gets like that, I think it's good to see that we stayed relentless all the way through to the end.
Well, during their power play right before the shorthanded goal, you had a couple of saves there, just to kind of being able to visual. What do you think those saves did for the team?
I think it's part of the equation, right? Everyone contributed block shots, and Sunquist's line was great again, and the D-men were strong, and everyone's gonna have a chance to step up, and I think play like that's fun for me, to mix in a couple nice saves there, and then we end up getting a goal, so it's a good night for us all around.
Right when you're leading by. What time is your thing home? Walked past your leg, but it went off the post.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Little luck there for sure. He had me beat, but you gotta work for those bounces.
Is this the type of game you could feel maybe coming for the last couple of games here?
Yeah, there was some discussion. We're in a good spot considering where our power play was at. We were talking about we might have to get our power play going, and tonight we did, and we had great success. So it's been fun. It's been fun working together, and motivating each other, pushing each other, and finding a way to get to this big win here. And like I said earlier, it's just staying composed and staying focused because we got to be playing like that all the way through.
That's Jordan Bennington, the Stanley Cup champion goaltender. The Blues with an 8-2 win over the Avalanche last night. The Blues have won 4 out of their last 5, and in those 4 wins, they have outscored their opponents 20-7. 4-1, 6-3, 2-1. They got away with one against Arizona with a bad power play. And then at Colorado, they win it 8-2 last night. They are back home for another game, and that will be Tuesday. They'll be hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then they go on a long West Coast trip at San Jose, LA, Anaheim, and Arizona before playing Nashville on Black Friday, 2:00 face-off the day after Thanksgiving. Well, NFL is about to get started. We're taking a look at some of those games. I gave you my picks a little bit earlier. If you need the last minute pick, we did those at 11:05, right around that time at the start of the show. Also, wanted to wrap up by saying this to the folks at the University of Missouri. Congratulations on a great win over Tennessee, 36-7. I went to the game yesterday and just had a great time. It was nice to be able to get out and go with my wife and daughter. My wife is a graduate of the University of Missouri. I grew up a Mizzou fan. My dad went there. I have a lot of strong ties to the university. And to be able to be there and watch this team excel in a matchup of two highly ranked teams, 13 against 14, was pretty special for everyone involved. It's a big stepping stone for that university and that football program, which has a lot of history. Missouri resembled a strong Big Eight team. If you can recall the days of Warren Powers when he got it going, and before that Al Onofrio, and before that Dan Devine, when he had the program rolling. It was a program that did not beat itself. It was a program that played physical, that would punish you on the ground, that would hit hard and wrap up on defense. They had it all going yesterday, and these are the building blocks of a great program. This was not, a flashy smoke and mirrors type victory for Missouri. I mean, they just lined up and whipped Tennessee, a team that does have superior NFL caliber talent, you might say. But if you look at Missouri's roster, I mean, it is improving in that area. I mean, they have some very, very good depth. They've got a lot of speed on the outside at receiver, which allows Luther Burden to excel in the slot. Brady Cook forced to throw early, but other than that, he looked good and has those wheels. He can really still run, even with a knee that has taken some hits this year. And then, of course, there's Cody Schrader, who is the X factor for this team. I mean, Schrader running the football, and if the offensive line is going to open up holes like that against Tennessee, who knows what they're capable of in these last two games, their bowl game, and in the future. Schrader is wrapping up his college career. He is a graduate student, so this is it for the Lutheran South Truman State product. But Mizzou has a good one here, and I would not be shocked if an NFL team gave him a look next year. He's 5'9", if that. But with a lot of strength, tough to bring down. Who knows what could be in store for Cody Schrader ahead? But if this is it, what a wonderful game yesterday, and still more to come for the Tiger running back. Thanks for joining us, Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
St. Louis Weight Loss Secret is having a huge one-day only holiday flash